Hello, my name is Fernando Barrios, and this is my art final. I will go over the architecture of the Temple of Trajan compared to the old St. Peter's Basilica. Before we understand the architecture, we need to understand the culture and the purpose for which the buildings were built for. Although they were both built during the Roman period and look similar, their functions were distinct. The Temple of Trajan was built within the Forum of Trajan, which was not only a religious location, but used for government affairs and even social gatherings as well. Old St. Peter's Basilica was one of the first churches to be built under Roman rule. Emperor Constantine I built the church to honor the death of St. Peter. The church stood for about 1200 years, serving as a place of worship for people all around the world. We can observe the equestrian statue in the middle of the forum, followed by the basilica, the libraries on either side, the Trojan column in the middle, and then finally the Temple of Trajan. In the floor plan of the forum, we can see that the temple made up a small percentage of the whole vicinity, while in Old St. Peter's Church, everything after the narthex is the basilica, making over half the area of the whole site plan. The church was so large that over 1,000 people can attend Mass at the same time, which made it known as the most important church in Rome. The Forum of Trajan was built to honor the death of Emperor Trajan, who had deceased and been declared a god. In the Forum of Trajan, it feels as if the Temple of Trajan was built as an altar or a centerpiece to the whole establishment. While in the Church of Old St. Peter's, the altar is encased within the biggest building, feeling as if that was the most important part. Although these are only renderings of the Forum of Trajan, it was clear to see that the interior was just a gallery of artworks and different altar forms, while in Old St. Peter's it was clear that there was one main altar and smaller statues of saints on the side. Although the culture and use between Roman temples and Roman churches was vastly different, the architecture between both of them was extremely common, and it was not uncommon to see temples turn into churches. From the pictures, you can see that both the Roman temple and church have large courtyards with corridors lining either side with columns keeping them up. These columns follow the inside of both the buildings but create different focal points that allow people to focus on different things. In the Roman church, the columns create a focal point at the altar where the crucifix of Jesus stands. While the Roman temple has a similar effect, the focal point isn't as centered on the statue, but rather the whole room in itself. Although both of these buildings no longer stand, the Roman government has protected the ruins of the Forum of Trajan, while the church of the Old St. Peter's has been reconstructed. It is crazy to think that these buildings were some of the most influential buildings in people's lives and cultures, but have no longer existed for hundreds of years. The following are my sources.